Super simple, super delicious, really homey. I really like the texture too of the potato. It tastes like a real potato jam slash potato tot, but with cheese and broccoli. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. You're with Nicole, and if you're new here, I share lots of delicious home-style recipes as well as baking tips and tricks. I have had some requests for more family-friendly recipes, kid-friendly recipes. So today I've got a recipe just for you guys. We are going to be making cheesy broccoli and potato tots, or potato gems, as we like to say in Australia. So these are a great way to get in some vegetables for the little ones, but they're also really delicious for the big kids too, like me, because I'm going to be eating them all the time as well. So let's get to it. Now I know that this recipe is more for the kids, but it does include potatoes, and if anyone knows me, you know I'm a big potato fan. So you may want to do a double batch if you're like me and a bit of a savory tooth. Make a double batch of these. There's actually not very many ingredients at all. We're keeping it really simple for tiny tummies. Kids and fussy eaters still love potato tots most of the time. So this is a great way to pack in extra nutrients, extra veggies, and they will never know the difference. Today I'm going to be using my Thermocook Pro M 2.0. If you don't have one of these appliances, you don't need one. You can just use a regular steamer on the stove top, and then you can pulse up the potato and the broccoli in another kitchen appliance, or you can even just mash it and do it by hand as well. But I am just going to be using this today because I have my candy kitchen helper here. I'm going to be doing it really easily in just the one appliance, and if you would like one of these, just head to my description box. There's a link there, check it out. You can get one with a discount code. So let me show you the ingredients that you are gonna need. So I have some grated cheese here. I've got some panko breadcrumbs, some broccoli, an egg, 2 potatoes, and some Italian herbs. Now I'm not gonna be using any salt and peppers today, and that's because you can add them at the end if you're gonna be eating them yourself. But for tiny tummies, they're quite sensitive to that sort of thing, so we're gonna leave it out and not include it in today's recipe. So for all of the ingredients, I will leave them in the description box below for you, including the quantities, and for the full recipe to download and print for free, head to lebonbaker.com. So go ahead and preheat your oven. I've got mine on 200 degrees Celsius, or about 390 degrees Fahrenheit. I have also lined a baking tray here with some baking paper or parchment paper. Okay, to get this to steam, I'm just gonna add some water to it. So I'm just gonna add 2 cups of water, just to be safe. Great. So I'll put back the lid, back on. Lock that on. And this is the steaming attachment here. Literally going to add the potatoes into this. But for the moment, it can just sit on top, just like that. So I'll just turn this on. Now, I'm just going to prepare my potatoes first. So I'll grab them. Now with these, I'm going to leave the skin on, and I'm first just going to get rid of any of the little bits that you don't want to eat. These little bits here. You can completely peel them if you want. But if they're already washed and they're in a nice condition, there's extra nutrients in the skin, so I would keep them. Now I'm just going to cut my potatoes here into cubes and roughly chop them to about the same size so that they cook nice and evenly. Awesome. So they are nicely cubed here, roughly the same size, and we can add them to our steamer. So straight in. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on now to the maximum temp. And I'm going to steam it for 4 minutes. And then after the 4 minutes, I will add in the broccoli. So let's get this show on the road. So while our potatoes are getting up to temperature and starting to steam, we can add or mix in here our cheese. our panko and our egg. And also I have the Italian herbs here just for a little bit of extra flavor, and just season it however you think that you and your family will like. So just a tiny little bit just to give it some flavor. So I'd probably go like half a teaspoon and then just give it a mix. So it's taken a couple minutes just to get up to that temperature to start to steam. So I'm just gonna add a couple of minutes now. So I'll probably add another 3 minutes. Okay, so we are only cooking these potatoes until they're tender. So you can go ahead and just give it a quick check with a knife. Oh, yep, nice. Okay, cool. That's good. So they're becoming soft, but they're not soft yet. So now is a perfect time to add in the broccoli. So throw this in. Awesome. And we're going to cook that, let it steam for another 1.5 minutes, and then that'll do it. So we don't want to overcook any of the veg. We want to keep it nice and healthy and keep all those nutrients in and keep those vibrant colors as well, particularly with the broccoli. Awesome, so this has just stopped steaming, and I'm just gonna take off this lid here. Nice. Oh yeah, look at all those veg. Okay, so I'm gonna take this lid off here too. Just be careful because it will be hot from the steam, but I need to use the inside of this because I'm gonna start pulsing up the vegetables. So I have strained out the water. You would do the same if you're just using a steamer on the stove top. Now what we can do is put our veggies into the bowl, or whatever you're going to either pulse it in or mash it in. You can go ahead and do that now. So I'm gonna be using the blade attachment. So I'm just gonna put it on blade 3, and I'm just gonna do it for 30 seconds, in 30-second increments. I don't want it to be too ground down. I still want it to have some texture. All right, let's go. God, I love this thing, it's so good. So helpful. All right, quick check. I'm not sure if I put the blade on fast enough. So yeah, it needs to be on a stronger blade. So I'm gonna turn it up now and pulse for another 30 seconds, but I'll also turn up the blade strength. All right, so I've just turned up the blade attachment to level 4, and I've done it for 2 minutes, even though we're probably not gonna use it. I'll just keep an eye on it and stop and start it at 30 seconds. Awesome, that's starting to definitely get it down to the texture that we want, but it needs longer. So I'm just going to mix it all up, move it all around, and then we can go again. Okay, so it's just turned off, which is awesome. I have been doing it now for pulsing it down, having the blade attachment on for 1.5 minutes. I have been checking at 30-second increments just to check that we're not gonna over pulse it, over blend it, because as I said, I do want that texture. So now I'm happy with this. Come check it out. Now you can turn out this mix into your bowl here with the panko and the cheese and the egg. And we're gonna mix it all up, and then we're gonna make these little tater tots. Now it's time to give these a really good combine. So all of those ingredients now can be mixed together really well so that they're all incorporated and evenly spread. I'm getting a little smell of those Italian herbs coming through as well, which is awesome. Yum! These are gonna be so good. And I'm pretty excited about the sneaky addition here of cheese. It's gonna take these little tater tots to the next level. So grab a spoon and then just with your hand, shape them into whatever size you like and shape. You could also do these in cookie cutters if you want, into particular shapes if your little ones are super fussy and you want to do something a little bit cool for them. But generally, they should like the traditional shape and size anyway. So I'm just gonna be doing these in a small ball / rectangle size. There we go. So this can take a little while, and you literally just have to rinse and repeat until you've got all of this mix put on the tray and then we start baking. Alrighty, I have one tray here ready to go into the oven. Before it goes in, I'm going to lightly coat it with some oil, just a tiny, tiny bit of oil. You can also baste it if you don't have a spray oil. So just go ahead and lightly touch it. Perfect. And that's just going to help it go a little bit crispy and golden. So these are going to go into the oven now for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're nice and golden and cooked through. I also have a little bit of extra mixture here. This is just one tray. I think that this mix will probably make a tray to 1 to 2 trays, depending on how big or small that you like your tater tots. I am just finishing off this second batch here of the tots. These are a great option as well if you want to have in the freezer. So all you need to do is bake them as per usual, let them cool completely, and then you can put them in storage bags and they will store for up to 2 months in the freezer. So it's really good to have as an option just to grab as soon as you need it. Okay, so these have been in the oven now for 10 minutes, so they still need a bit longer, but I just want to flip them, give them a little bit of a rotate, and make sure that they're nice and evenly cooked on both sides. Awesome, not far off, back in the oven now for another 5 to 10 minutes. Oh yeah, these look delicious, they smell delicious, and they have held their shape really well. Look at that, nice and toasty on both sides. Oh, so good. Yeah. Kids are gonna love them, adults are gonna love them. I mean, who doesn't like potato tots, potato gems? These have extra nutrients, extra veggies, but no one has to know. I can smell the cheese in that as well. I think the cheese is really gonna make these amazing. So before I eat them, and my twinnies eat them, I am going to let them cool just ever so slightly. Obviously, if you have little ones, you will need to let them cool for longer, so they're not going, so the hot potatoes aren't going into their mouths. How easy was that? It's gonna be super delicious. I know the little ones are gonna love them. I hope my little nephew gets to try them and he will love them as well. I think that these are gonna be a bit of a favorite for them. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these on a nice plate here and get them ready to eat and to serve. So with these, I was thinking as well, these would be really nice if the big kids are gonna have them. If you have them in the morning with like a poached egg, like yum, that will go down pretty well. All right, I've been waiting. It's time to try these little things. I cannot wait. They look so good. Oh yeah, check it out. Yum. Super simple, super delicious, really homey. I really like the texture too of the potato. It tastes like a real potato gem slash potato tot, but with cheese and broccoli. There you go, guys. This recipe is good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Small kids, big kids, everyone's gonna love them. I mean, come on, it's potato gems, potato tots. Who doesn't love them? Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen today. I know there was a little bit of elbow work involved with these, but they really are worthwhile, nice and healthy, and you can't beat homemade. So get involved, get in the kitchen, and get to making these amazing, delicious potato broccoli cheesy tots. If you do like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell as well because I have a new video coming out every single week. Thanks again, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.